Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As you guys can see, it's your host with the most, Paul Plan 2, reminding you that Earth is my planet.
Earth is my planet.
Now, on my last video, or at least a couple videos ago, someone commented that I should do a garden tour every single month. Now, I haven't done one because everything is infants. My garden is full of babies, but I figured I would give you guys a tour to show y'all some things you maybe haven't seen yet, could be interested in, and that might spark your fancy. So right now we're starting with my round garden bed. I did a makeover video of this area. If you guys haven't seen it, watch it. But more importantly, what's right above it is a heron's nest. So you guys have heard this heron or heron, yellow crowned night heron, make some noises in the past, guys. And I want to show you that I not only have a heron, but I have an artist. Just look at this beautiful Jackson Pollock-esque artwork, all done with the fecal matter of a beautiful heron. Okay, so this heron not only is cool, is beautiful, but this is part of the impact of having a large bird that had babies on your property, as it likes to decorate, okay? And not only the driveway with dead frogs and white booty fragments, but also my girlfriend's car. So that's nice, but hey, we got wildlife in the garden. First year really going off planting native species, and that's what I like. Now, getting to this Shinto Bed area, it's not looking too lovely right now, okay? It was cracking in the springtime, but we do have some salvias absolutely popping off. The lipstick reds, you have this nice Texas sage, little purple flower. The penstemons, okay, have their seed pods on the top. The pepper plant is producing, and also I have a coral honeysuckle, native honeysuckle, that has produced some fruit. So I am going to need to throw that in and plant them, guys, and propagate the plant, because it also is looking a little bit skimpy. All the leaves have fell off and I don't really know what's going on, okay? Now, we also have this Coreopsis that has bloomed profusely, as you guys can see, and the Gara is always putting on quite a show in the front yard. All right, so pink flowers everywhere. This is a good indication, and it does fit in with the rosemary plants, and it all looks like one giant mass. All right, so working our way over, you guys have seen, you have the sagos absolutely looking lovely. I did plant this dogwood right here, and this is the Florida variety, and it is popping off with new branches, which I just noticed. Either that or it lost its leaves. I don't know which is which. I don't see any leaves on the ground, so I think it's popping off with new branches. Hopefully these oak trees next to it might be sucking the life out of it like a Dementor. Shout out Harry Potter. Now the redbud tree's doing well, has leafed out, is looking nice, looking lovely, looking thick and vibrant. Now, speaking of vibrancy, you guys have seen me plant a ton of flowers in my side garden bed area, right? And one that is absolutely a showstopper is the Texas native lantana. This is Lantana urticoides, if I am enunciating and pronunciating correctly. And the colorway is absolutely flawless. It has a nice yellow center that bursts out with orange, and I love it, dude. The milkweeds also have some tiny flowers, are growing slowly, and a lot of these plants that I've thrown in are slow growers, but we also have a couple of showers. All right, you got the powwow, wildberry cone flowers, oh, that are looking nice. Some of them have already done their thing. You have the salsa red blanket flower, I think that's what this is called, that is absolutely flourishing as well. Just look at all those dudes. And then I also have a yellow coneflower variety that is going off. Now the Henry Dulberg salvias are also steady pumping out flowers, nice and blue right there, and so those look great as well. Now, one thing you guys have not seen that I definitely want to show off are my pear trees, dude. So I have a pair of pears. Hit that drum on it. But you guys can tell this thing is loaded up with fruit. So I planted these actually a year ago. They were struggling, and then this year they flowered and have burst to light with fruit all up on them. I mean, just look at these pears, and they are pulling these branches. They may be too heavy for the branches, truth be told, but I don't even care, man, because I got pears, man. Y'all know what it is. This one looks a little deformed. I don't know what's going on with it, but I still am going to grow these dudes. This many pears do seem to be pulling the tree slightly, which could be problematic, but hey, dude, I mean, I'm really excited to have a tree full of fruit, so I kind of am leaving them, even though it might not be best for the fruit. But then right next door, you have another pear, and I think one of them is a Leconte pear, and I don't know if the other one is a Florida pear. I'll put it right here. Now moving along, guys, one plant that has absolutely popped off is my false indigo. Another native species. This is a nitrogen fixer, and it looks super, super huge. Now, it hasn't bloomed out to perfection, which I did expect, or I guess I shouldn't expect it, but sometimes we have expectations that just get brutally shattered. Anyways, this dude, it flowered a tiny bit, but I really think next year it'll take off. But the leaf structure is absolutely amazing on this guy, so of course I love it. Now my little baby sagos, you guys saw last week I talked about them, but the branches are popping off even more than they previously have been. And someone broke down the name terminology like spikes, fronds, skewers, something like that. But you guys can see, I mean, I'm just gonna call them leaves because that's what they are. The leaves are branching out and looking really, really cool. Now I have 2 pecan trees that I planted as well, and these dudes are looking, they're looking okay. All right, I feel like they could look better. I have a Cape Fear variety, and I have a Pawnee pecan tree. Dude, my ankles are getting eaten up by mosquitoes. It's brutal out here in Houston, man. But this one I got from Lowe's. That one I bought from a local nursery. And I also got 2 pear trees so they could cross-pollinate. And that is life. Okay, now I also planted 2, I think they call these Mexican sages is the common name, but these dudes are filling out. They're getting big, and the foliage looks really, really good. More blanket flowers that look spectacular. And then even more fruit, we have my Eureka lemon tree, which is busting with fruit. But the leaves are variegated. The flowers start off as purple, and then they are white when they explode. That's all scientific terms. And honestly, the fruit looks like little watermelons, which I like. So evidently the flesh is a pinkish yellow on the inside, which is super cool. My arrowwood viburnum is getting large. It looks like something was snacking on it right down in there. Probably was a snail. And then of course you have my Mexican or Texas olive, as some people would call it. And yeah, definitely could get larger. All right, class, so one day has elapsed, but we're in the backyard right now to continue the garden tour. We're starting off with some fruit trees, man. So I planted 2 apple trees, actually 3 apple trees, and these are requiring low chill hours so I can grow them over here in the Houston climate and weather. And all collapsed, we have this Anna apple tree, which I definitely need to support, but it does have 1 apple, and it also has another apple. So I have 2 apples on here. Aphids were absolutely munching on these trees, and I just let them be because I was trying to spray them off with the hose. They kept coming back, but eventually the predatory insects came in and ate them up. And then right next door to cross-pollinate, I have a golden Dorset apple tree as well, which is looking good. It's leafing out, and this dude is remaining vertical. I don't know why this guy is tilted at such an insane angle. It's not the weight of the fruit, but I definitely need to prop it up. And then I also did plant this premium fig. This is a dwarf fig right here, and Foxy wants to be in the video, and she also loves to eat all the fig leaves. Like, my dogs stay eating the fig leaves, so I don't know what is going on with that. Now in this area, I had a ton of Asiatic jasmine, which I have been battling my life away to get rid of, and it keeps coming back. But there also are some wild yams growing underneath this oak tree, and they're springing up huge vines, as you guys can see right here. So yeah, in an apocalyptic scenario, I guess I'll come out here with the shovel and do my business. Now in the freeze, some of my palms got absolutely decimated. This dude has came back with a vengeance, and 2 sable palmettos that I planted that I stole, or I guess borrowed permanently off the side of the road. I saved them though. They're getting mowed over repeatedly. I planted them as well. They are slow growing, but they are alive for all you guys who have been inquiring about those guys. Okay, and now moving along the fence line, we have a ton of fruit trees, citrus that I planted, and my previous citrus died in the freeze. That happened, but the kumquat is just busting with fruit. The flowers have been pollinated, which is nice. Speaking of amazing pollinators and native plant varieties, my Calicarpa americana, my American beauty berry, is just busting. My golden sword yucca is doing well. My plum trees that I have right here, I haven't seen them flower yet, but the grapefruit is pumping. You have a couple of, actually you have like 3 fruits on the tree. You have tree on the tree, which is very, very nice. I've also seen my lime tree get pollinated, and as you guys can tell, all of these trees are deep under the understory of oak trees, but they seem to be doing well enough to pump out some flowers and to be pollinated, and they are fruiting. My peach tree looks very, very sad because it's been raining so much. My blueberries have already produced fruit, and now they are just growing. The squirrels ate up a lot of the fruit, not even gonna lie, which is, you know, that's what you expect. You gotta feed the wildlife, and hopefully there's enough left to feed yourself. My blackberries are, whoa, what is that? It looks like they're doing moderately okay, but again, the rain has just been working, I don't want to say wonders, but it's been obliterating some of the plants that don't like to have wet feet. It is what it is. I can't control the weather, but that's life. My moringa is growing up, highly, highly nutritious. I'm letting it grow, and then I'll probably start harvesting, but it definitely has grown like a foot just in the last couple of months. So that's what I like to see is gonna be soonly featured in my smoothies, okay? And then right here, oh yes, fruiting already. Y'all know what time it is. Just the normal limons. Look at those guys right there. Actually, I think they're about to flower. And then this dude has grown expeditiously, exponentially. It's taken off, man. This is my native mulberry tree, and yeah, super fast growing tree. It actually gets a lot of light from the gap in the oak tree canopy that just busts down on it. So it's looking very good, healthy, vibrant, and huge. I only got 1 mulberry off of it this past growing season, but thus is life, okay? Now I also have canna lilies that I got off the side of the road, and those are growing in magnificently. My button bush has flowered, and I wish I would have recorded it, but oh man, I just was caught lacking and slipping. Personal foul tripping. Personal foul tripping. But it's looking great, all right? And there are a ton of mosquitoes over here. Now I also planted some natives for the shade. Hands down, some straight bangers, the Turk's Cap hibiscus, and these flowers actually are edible. Hold on. Dang it, dude, I didn't pull that good enough. Wait 1 second. Okay, so the bottom of the flower has a ton of just like, look at that. Oh my God, just a ton of sugars. Super, super sweet. This is a banger of a plant to throw on the ground, and it produces little apple-like fruit that the squirrels love. I mean, they're tiny. I don't think they have much flavor for us, but the squirrels stay feasting on this dude, and it's right next to the oak tree roots, but it's huge, and I really dig it, dude. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good little tour of that back area, but I want to show y'all how big my elephant ear has grown. So I did this little $30 like tropical garden area, and the elephant ear that I planted has taken off. It's covering a lot of the AC, which is exactly what I wanted. And also people are saying that my my angel trumpet tree was gonna die in this shade, but it actually is growing towards the light, so hopefully it'll arch over this area. There is like a French drain over there, so that this is like a river path when it rains so much. So hopefully that dude will grow up and take off. And now we're about to get to my wildflower meadow. So just less than like 4 months ago, this was all dirt. And now it almost is all grown in with vegetation. Now, this obviously isn't some people's style. Someone was like, oh, it just like looks like an unmanicured lawn, which basically it is. I just overseeded this lawn area with wildflower seeds, but it has been so fulfilling to see all the butterflies and pollinators in my backyard. Like, I swear, last year I would see a stray monarch every twice in a while. Now I'm seeing monarchs, bruh, all the time. I'm seeing all types of bees, all varieties of butterflies, huge butterflies, man. And so it's just so cool to see, I guess, my hard work pay off. And by hard work, I mean me throwing seeds mixed with dirt on the ground. But let me show y'all what's going on this month. We have more plains Coreopsis growing right here, which looks astounding. A bunch of black-eyed Susans have taken off as well. You have this ground cover. I don't even know what this is, but I mean, white little flowers are going crazy. You have partridge peas, which are growing everywhere. A nice native that are flowering. Just more plains Coreopsis. You have blanket flowers. I think these are like some vincas.
Psych, they're Carolina Ruellias, and they native.
And yeah, I mean, a couple of months ago in the spring, there was a lot more flower action happening, Captain, but we still have things going nuts. You got this little zinnia right here that's popped up, and it's just really cool to walk around and see what has been developing. There's another zinnia in hand right there. Look at that, matches my skin tone perfectly, man. That's what I call flower camo. All right, so I think you guys have seen, and look, bro, just look how big some of these flowering plants are. Like, oh, I don't know what this dude is. This guy's kind of new, but look at the flower on this man right here. I'll put the name right here. I'll do some post identification because there's always stuff popping up that I'm unfamiliar with, but it's cool because I get to research it as things are going off in my environment and in my backyard. And people always ask like, oh, but do your dogs have room? Dude, my dogs run and play through all of these flowers, like through all the high grass. They love it, man. They just hide in there, run, they chase butterflies, they have a good time. And now, last and certainly not least, a project I have been working on, which I'll update you guys on and make a whole dedicated video towards, is me starting my own low-key backyard nursery. And we have a ton of avocado trees growing. So I get the pits of avocados that I eat and I just plant them, and you guys can see the stages. We have this avocado pit that is cracked open, or seed, and yeah, I plant them in dirt. It is pleasurable to watch them grow in water, but then when you transplant an avocado seed from water to dirt, it does not perform well. So these have probably been in here for like 4 weeks, and obviously this dude has just taken off. But yeah, you have another one right here, and this has put up multiple shoots. It's just one seed, but yeah, it's going absolutely crazy, which is super cool. And then I have some elephant ears, which I also just planted, that are going nutty. So anyways, that pretty much is the July garden tour. If you guys enjoyed, please smash the like button. There's a lot more that'll probably take off over time and grow in. But again, this is pretty much only 5 months of me having most of these plants in. The oldest plants that I featured are the pears and apple trees, which I planted a year ago. So this just goes to show like what an early garden can look like. And this is a good little tour for myself, just to have reference of how small things are now, so in the future I can see how big they grow to be. Anyways, I love you guys. Please smash the like button. It's a new channel. Live the dream, eat that ice cream, and remember, Earth is my planet.
Earth is my planet.
I'll see y'all soon. Peace and love. I'm locked, I'm loaded, and I'm out. See ya.
Killing these songs, leaving them bloody like Peru's do. And I'm in it to win it, so I'm somebody that you should get used to.